Some players make football look beautiful. But then there's Zidane, the man who turned beauty into art. Every touch was like a brushstroke, every move, a dance. But behind all that elegance was a man full of fire, emotion, and pain. Today we're telling the story of a kid from the poor suburbs of Marseille who became a legend of world football. The story of how Zinedine Zidane won everything and lost it all in a single moment. Zinedine Yazid Zidane was born in 1972 in Marseille to a family of Algerian immigrants. He grew up among concrete blocks and street football, where dreams were as rough as the pitches he played on. His professional journey started at Cannes, where his incredible technique and vision immediately stood out. Then came Bordeaux, and that's when Europe first learned the name Zidane. He wasn't just talented, he was different. Quiet, humble, but on the pitch. A leader who could change the game with a single pass. 1996. Zinedine Zidane, the young magician with the ball from Bordeaux, takes a huge leap in his career, a move to Juventus. The Italian Serie A, that's a whole different world. Tough defenses, strict tactics, unbelievable speed, and no mercy for mistakes. But Zidane wasn't just another player. He was a wizard with the ball. And in Turin, he had to prove that magic works even in the harshest league in the world. So, the 1996-97 season, Zidane's first year in Turin. Everyone knew he was talented, but no one expected him to adapt so fast, to become the true maestro of Juventus's play almost instantly. From his very first games, Zidane showed it. The technique everyone admired in France worked even better in Italy. The tough defenders of Serie A, the ones who would usually crush any newcomer, suddenly had no idea how to stop him. One dribble, and the whole midfield opens up. One perfect pass, and his teammates are already heading toward goal. That first season was a lesson for his team and for the entire league. Zidane proved that on the pitch, he wasn't just a player. He was a maestro, a conductor who made everyone around him play better. After that stunning debut season, Zidane became the key figure of Juventus. But Serie A in the 90s, that was pure war. Every match against Inter, Milan, or Lazio felt like a battlefield. Defenders were brutal, tactics were strict, and mistakes, they were never forgiven. And this is where Zidane truly shined. He didn't just create chances, he changed the course of games. In the derby against Torino, he scored in the final minute, and the fans went absolutely crazy. In matches against Milan, his pinpoint passes tore through the tight Rossoneri defense. Vieri and Del Piero finished off his assists, and it felt like Zidane was pulling the strings of the entire match. The Champions League. That was a whole different story. Every pass, every flick from Zidane could completely change the game. Defenders didn't even know where to look. He was everywhere at once. Zizou kept finding space where there was none, opening up passing lanes for his teammates, controlling the rhythm, and keeping the entire midfield under his command. The result? 2 straight Scudettos. In 1997 and 1998. Trips to the Champions League finals, and recognition not just in Italy, but across all of Europe. And then, summer of 1998, France, a home World Cup. That's when Zidane became more than just a footballer. He became a national hero. France had been waiting for their champion. And finally, he arrived. On the road to the final, Zidane wasn't always the main man. He even got sent off in the group stage. But in the decisive match against Brazil, he played, without a doubt, the game of his life. 2 headers past Taffarel. Zidane wasn't even a striker. He just decided that this night was his. France won 3-0, and the whole country screamed one name, Zizou. He became a symbol of unity, hope, and pride. A kid from Marseille with Algerian roots, now the hero of all France. And in December 1998, Zinedine Zidane received the Ballon d'Or, the highest individual honor in football. He became the first Frenchman since Platini to win it. And he did it not just with skill, but with beauty, calm, and intelligence. 2 years later, he did the impossible again. At Euro 2000, Zidane played football like it was pure art. That free kick goal against Spain, that penalty versus Portugal, it all looked like something straight out of a movie. France were champions once again. Zidane, the best player of the tournament, He was on top of the world, but it was time for a new challenge. 2001, Real Madrid paid 77 million euros for Zidane, a world record at the time. A lot of people doubted it. Could anyone really be worth that much? The answer came just 1 year later. Champions League final, 2002, against Bayer Leverkusen, 45th minute, across from Roberto Carlos. Zidane watches the ball drop and bam! Left foot, perfect timing. The ball flies straight into the top corner. One of the most beautiful goals in football history. The goal that made Real Madrid the champions of Europe. In the 2003-2004 season, Zinedine Zidane became the true conductor of Real Madrid. He wasn't just decorating the game anymore, he was controlling it. Every touch set the rhythm, every pass opened space, every pause broke down defenses. He scored fewer goals, but his influence on the game grew immensely. Fans could see it. When Zidane was on the pitch, the team played calmer, cleaner, more confident. Everything felt under control. And even in La Liga, where every match was a battle, Zizou looked like he was playing in his own backyard. Against Espanyol, he dribbles past the defender and smashes the ball into the net. Pure magic. Then against Sevilla, a slick back heel from Guti, and Zidane strikes from distance. Those were moments when the crowd just stood up and applauded. He wasn't just taking part in the goals, he was creating art right there on the pitch. It was around this time that fans truly began to realize just how valuable Zidane was to the team. 2006 seasons became the peak of his influence at Real Madrid. On the pitch, he was no longer just a player. He was the conductor, orchestrating every movement. In La Liga, Zizou consistently stood out in the biggest games. Against Barcelona, for example, he would dictate the tempo, drift to the wings, deliver pinpoint passes to Raúl and Ronaldo, and create chance after chance. Every touch felt deliberate, calm, elegant, and devastatingly effective. In the match against Villarreal, he scored his last official goal for Real Madrid, a precise strike from the edge of the box that made the Bernabeu stands rise to their feet in applause. By 2006, Zidane was already thinking about retiring, but he decided to leave in style. At the World Cup. A legend, the man who won the 1998 World Cup and Euro 2000, was returning to show the world once again what true football looks like. France came into the tournament with huge expectations, but for Zidane, this championship was different. It wasn't just another competition, it was his farewell to football at the highest level. France got a tricky group. First match, against Switzerland. Zidane immediately takes control. Goals? Not right away, but his passing, his dribbling, his ability to dictate the tempo, it all creates chances for his teammates. Next up, South Korea. Zidane's everywhere, organizing attacks, creating openings for Trezeguet and Anelka. France wins. Round of 16. Spain. Raúl, Torres, Villa, all up against the old master Zidane. But Zizou just turns their lights out. France wins 3-1, and Zidane puts the exclamation mark on it. Beats Puyol and sends the ball curling into the far corner. Semi-final against Portugal. Zidane is the main architect of France's game. He scores from the penalty spot, dishes out perfect passes, and his control of the midfield leaves the whole stadium in awe. The 2006 World Cup final. France versus Italy. Just 7 minutes in, the first big moment. France wins a penalty. Zidane steps up, calm and confident as ever, and chips it in, cool as ice. France takes the lead, 1-0. Italy doesn't back down. In the 19th minute, after a corner, Materazzi heads it in, 1-1, extra time. The tension is unreal. And then, the moment that went down in history, the incident with Materazzi. Words are exchanged, a shove, and Zidane gets a red card. It's an emotional blow, but he walks off the pitch with his head held high. That's how Zidane's World Cup story ends. Not with a trophy, but with brilliance, emotion, and the kind of impact only he could have. Even years later, that final still stands as a symbol of his genius and his character. After it all, Zidane became a coach. And once again, he won everything. 3 Champions League titles in a row with Real Madrid. He proved that his brilliance didn't end when he stopped playing. Zidane isn't just a player, he's a feeling. That moment when football turns into poetry. His career feels like a movie, full of highs, heartbreaks, triumphs, and tragedy. But above all, It's real. Because Zidane wasn't just playing football, he lived it.